Assalamu alaikum. This is your host Yasmin Aftab Ali. Channel Yasmin Aftab Ali with program Yasmin Aftab Ali ke saath. We are going to talk about the war unleashed on Iran by Israel and US. And we will start with the breaking news. A report by Arab News which states that over a telephonic conversation to a newspaper, Donald Trump has stated that in order to stop the war, there has to be a discussion between Israel and America, and they must take into account a lot of things. Dot, dot, dot. Now, this may mean many things, or it may mean just a strategy to pass on the buck. What it may mean is that no one had expected Iran to react the way it reacted, attacking the largest bases of America all over the world, particularly in the Gulf and in Saudi Arabia. Now, in order to come to the table of negotiation, the other party must also be coming from a position of strength. So hence, we see Israel attacking the oil fields of Iran, among other things. So if there is a negotiation, it is between two balanced contemporaries. And we are going to discuss these facts right now. Stay with me in the program. The war launched against Iran by the United States and Israel is one of choice. It is not one of necessity. There is scarcely any evidence to support that Iran was planning to make a nuclear bomb or was in any case involved or thinking of bringing about an imminent attack against either Israel or America. Such claims do not stand scrutiny. Trump and Netanyahu made their maximalist aims clear right from the beginning. It was always about the regime change, but it was never clearly stated as to what kind of a change they wanted, barring a very overconfident statement by Trump stating that he would like to be a part of the decision to place the next head of state in Iran. In a delusional reenactment of Iraq war script, it was stated that Israel could not stand a push by US and America. How will only the airstrikes achieve the purpose that US and America have in mind? The airstrike strategy alone cannot at all confirm or lead to a conclusion that the other party doing this will be a decisive winner. History does not support this narrative. First, Trump had said that we will put boots on ground in Iran. Then they said we will not put boots on ground in Iran as it is a waste of time. But according to the report that I have received from my contact, at two particular points, US is indeed contemplating bringing in the army into the Iran. My analysis is this may be a tactic to bring pressure on Iran, to de-escalate, or to come to the negotiation table with a threat, and after having retaliated harshly to Iran's attacks. Now, what has the basis of the war rests on a complete misreading of Iran. In spite of the internal issues, even those people who did not support the clerical rule in Iran have relegated their differences to the subtext in face of an attacker who clearly talks about dismantling of Iran as a country. Their grievances have been pushed back, at least for the time being. Killing of Khomeini will haunt Iran, America and Israel for decades to come. And why I say this? The force of martyrdom, particularly in the Shia sect, has a very heavy weight. West's failure to achieve their target against Iran as quickly as they thought it was going to be possible. They did not expect by any long shot the violent reaction that came from Iran. And they have started making haywire statements. For example, Trump said that upon when Spain stated that it will not allow USA to use their own bases on Spanish territory because the war is a violation of international laws. His comment on record is that we can just fly in and we can do the attacks and fly out. There is no one to stop us. And then, of course, there is Netanyahu's warning to Trump in a very undiplomatic language. And his words are, "Don't you dare hold peace talks with Iran." It's like the master talking to a vassal state. Now, what has been the Iran strategy over here? We need to take a look at that as well. Iran knew it will have to face this situation sometime, and it has been preparing for this very day for a very long time. Iran has spread the war horizontally and has destroyed the most valuable and expensive military hardware, property and equipment owned by the US across the world, in particular in Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Dubai and Saudi Arabia. The facilities were made of trillions of US dollars. US and Israeli ships can no longer pass through the Straits of Hormuz. And if this situation continues, it is going to end into a deepening of economic crises. It is going to put a lot of pressure on the Western economies and at the end of the day on the entire world. US had floated the idea of arming the Kurdish militia to invade Iran. But we need to understand exactly what this means. How many of the militia can US/Israel arm? 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 or 1 lakh? Does Israel and America really think that the vast expanse of Iran and the level of preparedness they have to fight this war out, they cannot overcome a handful of Kurdish rebels? They can. They will be swallowed up by Iran. Why has Iran shown such great resilience? This is a very important question. And the reason is, for Iran, it is a fight to survival. It is not a question of choice. That is why Iran understood last year when it had a 12-day war with Israel that they must have a better organizational structure. And in understanding this, they decentralized their command. Therefore, it was not in the hands of one person giving all directions. What has Iran done so far? Gulf is on fire, Strait of Hormuz is closed, flights all over are cancelled, new front against Hezbollah has been opened in Lebanon, all American embassies in Gulf are closed. US is paying $1 billion per day for this war. After causing this havoc, Iran decided that it will no longer bomb the neighboring countries. But remember, this was before Israel attack their oil facility. The variables over here are how much can both sides sustain the war and the momentum of this war at a given space over what period of time. Secondly, the quantum and numbers of bombs, drones, other military hardware available to both, and how long can they sustain attacking each other at that high level of intensity. But a very important point is being missed here, and that is creation of the world perception on morality or the lack of morality in the launching of this war that makes nations choose sides. In all of these points, on these points, Iran has clearly won. Iran's strategy has centered around endurance and deterrence. It is fighting to survive on its own terms. Therefore, it had laid a layered ballistic missile capabilities, developed that, long range drones, and a network of allied armed groups across the region. Now, what is going to be the outcome of all this that is happening? Some things that Iran has established without a question is it has showed US cannot even protect its own bases in foreign shores. It has made sure that the world understands those nations cannot rely on the support of United States or Israel. And when this war ends, the real consequences will not just be military damage, but an erosion of US influence without any question, and emergence of new regional alignments and new powers. There is a strong perception and thinking in US. Rubio is against it, but Hegseth is having a hawkish attitude that Trump should go in with their forces. Now, should Trump decide to take this course of action, a huge number of US troops will die. Unthinkable Iranian casualties will happen. It will deepen the economic crisis, and we will be looking at a COVID-like situation and a reenactment of George Bush's invasion in Iraq. A contact of mine who is a high-placed analyst, an American, stated to me that, look, Trump must be given a face saving in this situation. But the question is, can a face saving be possible in this kind of a situation? At this point, the situation is really very fluid, but certain dynamics have been spelt out by Iran. It has blown the myth that Israel and Iran can be the world bullies. As the situation unfolds, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back with more updates. Till then, have a great day.